I think we're live, but I've got an error. Hello, hello. I think we're good.
We're getting errors and we don't know why. But we're here. So I don't know how much of an error this could possibly be.
Let me see if we're. Are we on Facebook? Are we here? Hello, can you see us?
Who
Hallelujah,
knows?
we're here.
Who knows?
We're here.
Yeah.
Hello.
Sorry, I feel like we've been less consistent than we've been traditionally. We keep saying we'll be back next week, and then we don't show up next week, and then we're back the week after.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah. We've got new events that are happening during the week, and it's throwing off our...
Yeah, messing with us.
Yeah. So I apologize. If you're new to the stream, my name's Dakota.
And I'm Jeff. Hello. Welcome.
We are real estate investors. We do multifamily acquisition and management, and our company is Pinnacle Investments. And we do these lives I was just saying that we are not as consistent as we used to be, but we try our best to do these lives every week, every Tuesday, over what is in Eastern time, a lunch period.
12:30 Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah. And
so we call it a power lunch.
Yeah, we
just come on and share our experiences.
Yeah. We like to educate as much as possible, share what we've learned, things we've learned along the way in our real estate journey. We've been in this game for a couple years now, and we've been down different investing paths and learned things along the way.
Learn things the hard way, learn things the easier way with coaching, mentorship.
Yep. Yeah. And we want to share that with you.
And we want this to be as interactive as possible. We are live on YouTube and on Instagram. No, not Instagram. Facebook.
It's not Instagram.
And we're watching the chat. So if you have any input, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat.
Or just say hi when you get here.
Even if you're let us know that you're here.
Say hi when you get here. We like this to be as interactive as possible, because if not, you just listen to us banter. And sometimes that's really exciting.
Could be.
Yeah, sometimes things happen, and that's fun too. But we like to be as interactive as possible. And our topic for this week is inspired by my new glasses. Just kidding, it's not, but it's really exciting. I've just got new glasses after like 8 years, and I can finally see again.
They look nice.
It's great. I can drive at night again. I don't have crazy glares anymore, because before the lights were doing this. But no, this week's topic is not inspired by my new glasses. It is inspired by a trip that we have coming up.
We are going to Belize.
Woo! It's going to be so warm.
Belize? I don't know how to say it properly.
I don't know. I feel like
I say Belize because there's a Z.
I feel like my English self has to be Belize.
Belize.
I'm too English to have it said any other way.
Yeah, but we're not just going to Belize. We're going with a group of people, and we are going for a mastermind retreat. So the whole idea is to take yourself out of your everyday life, I guess, and put yourself into a new environment with a group of people, and to do a mastermind, like a true mastermind, the way that Napoleon Hill talks about masterminding in Think and Grow Rich.
A lot of people use the word mastermind. I think it gets...
Whenever it's a group of people getting together.
Yeah.
Or a Zoom call with a bunch of people on it is called a mastermind.
Yeah, and I think it's become very overutilized, the word mastermind itself. And the true meaning of a mastermind has kind of been lost in that, because everything is called a mastermind now. Like you said, you get together on... bunch of people on a Zoom call, it's a mastermind. You have one person speaking to a bunch of people, that's suddenly a mastermind. And it's really lost the actual meaning of what a mastermind is. And we attended our first true mastermind. It's almost
just over 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's like almost our 2-year anniversary. It was actually this same, well, not the same group of people, but the same organization.
Yeah.
That we attended 2 years ago as our very first mastermind. So this is like our 2-year anniversary to our first one, which is really cool. And the first one we attended was so powerful. The second one we attended was also super powerful. And I predict that this one is going to be just as powerful.
Yeah.
And it's because it's not someone standing in front of a room educating.
There's a little bit of that.
There is.
But it's the main thing that we're going to be doing is, well, I guess let's back up. What is Napoleon Hill's definition of a mastermind? Essentially, it is a group of people solving a problem. So you're tapping into the collective mind of a group of people. So what we're going to be doing on this trip is, let's say I'll go up in front of the group and I will present a challenge that I'm experiencing in my business life, in my personal life, some sort of a challenge. And the entire group will spend the next, let's say 45 minutes pitching in to try and solve the challenge that I'm experiencing.
Yeah, give you some new ideas, some new ways to move forward. It's like a very big, sophisticated brainstorm.
Yeah, it's basically brainstorming.
And this event is like, this mastermind is 5. Were they for 5 or 6 days?
Yeah, 6 days.
And because of that, you have basically a 5 to 6 day brainstorm. So yes, you have your 45-minute session, but you're with these people for so many days that the brainstorm really it continues. And the nice part about having this group of people together is that everybody has a different story, a different background, different experiences.
Yeah.
And when you can tap into a collection of high-level thinkers, in our case, sophisticated entrepreneurs, sophisticated investors, when you tap into the brains of those people, the people with different experiences, they can come at your problem from different angles. So now you're not just stuck in your one lane with your problem, thinking in, kind of one direction. You have multiple people thinking from multiple directions and giving you new ideas and new ways to approach the problem.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a solve. Like, you're not coming out of it maybe solving your problem, but you have new ways to look at your problem, new ways, like new directions to go in afterwards to, work through that issue. And the cool thing is, a lot of the problems that other people are having, so you go up and you present your problem, but a lot of the problems everybody else, a lot of the problems they're having are the same problems you're having, or something that you're experiencing in a similar fashion, or the ideas that come out of that are very useful for you. So
you end up learning from other people's challenges as well, and the input that's going towards those other people's challenges. And you also realize that other people have probably experienced the same challenge that you are now experiencing.
Yeah.
And if they've gotten past it in some way, then that can be really beneficial to you. Yeah. Right.
And I think especially with social media now, and the way that everybody can kind of, you can cut out the problems very easily on social media. You can make everything look amazing, like you never have any problems and everything runs smooth and your life is great.
I think we talked about it on one of our last power lunches, actually, that is a big red flag if you never have a problem, if the investor that you're investing with has never had a problem.
Yeah. And it's almost, I don't want to say other people's problems are inspiring, but like, it's just nice to know that you aren't the only one experiencing problems. So it's nice getting into a room and being able to feel comfortable enough to open up about a problem you're having, because that can be scary sometimes especially if it's a deep rooted problem that you're working through. It can be really hard to open up and to get solutions about that problem that you're having. So when you're in a room that you're comfortable enough to be able to open up and do that, and then know that, most people have experienced that type of problem. Some people maybe haven't experienced it, but they're having their own problems. It's kind of nice to be able to support each other in that way and know that you're not alone.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of vulnerability that occurs at these masterminds, and that's good, because now people are starting to open up and people are again being vulnerable and sharing their experiences.
And it's the expansion that happens during these. It's thinking the way other people think, thinking outside of the way that you would normally think, is a really cool process. There's everybody has their own approach to a problem. I'm sure they've done they've done different studies on this kind of stuff where everybody has a different approach to solving a problem. So when you bring everybody together with their different approaches, really cool things can happen, and it allows you to think outside of the box that you normally thinking. So I think a lot of us, whether we all think that we're outside of the box thinkers or not, still have a kind of our own.
Well, you're in your own world, right?
Yeah.
You're in your own box. You're in your own mind.
Yeah.
You're in your own world. You need to allow other people in to help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know it was actually really funny. Our first mastermind that we went to, we had no idea what a mastermind was when we went to our first mastermind.
Yeah, we were joining a coaching program. We were learning about multifamily, and along with that, at the same time that we were joining, there was a mastermind that was happening. We got invited to it, and we said, you know what the hell, let's dive in. Let's go and dive headfirst, kind of thing. And so we went to this mastermind, and we said, well, we didn't know what it was about. We thought it was
we didn't know what a mastermind was.
Because again, we were signing up for a multifamily real estate education course, essentially, and coaching. And so we thought it was relating to that. And we're like, well, we don't know multifamily yet. We're brand new to this. So are we going to be able to participate? Is this too advanced for us?
Yeah. We weren't new in real estate, but we were new in the larger multifamily space. Yeah. So the way I think I pictured it was, there was going to be some lectures, there was going to be some kind of group, like some kind of group work of some kind. And I was terrified because I was like, I'm going to have nothing to contribute because all these people are buying, 10, 20, 30 unit buildings, and I've been flipping for the last.
Well, and I think at that point we knew that there was a guy that was going, he had 100 units under contract.
Yep.
And one of the girls that was going was working on a 50 unit portfolio. So we were like,
who are we?
We've got a couple of duplexes and some conversions that we've done, but nothing to that scale.
We've bought and sold, but all in the single family home space.
Yeah.
So it was terrifying. We weren't really sure what we were going to be able to contribute. And I think we realized very quickly that it didn't really matter because we had...
Well, it wasn't real estate. It wasn't like growth.
It wasn't real estate, but we also have a different background than everybody else that was there. So we had different insights to be able to add because we were coming from a different lane. So it actually worked out really well because we were able to tap into this new sort of expansion area for ourselves in the multifamily space. And we were also bringing in a different lens to a lot of the people that were there because we had a different background.
Yeah.
So it actually worked out really well. And man, the expansion that happened after that was insane.
Yeah.
What happened. And you don't need to go to Belize to do this. It is nice, obviously.
It's nice to get out of your day-to-day environment, right? That's where the biggest change is going to happen is in your mindset and everything. Because if you're in your day-to-day, if you're just at home on a Zoom call doing these masterminds, you're distracted by the things that are going on around you. Oh, let me check an email. I've got a second monitor up here. Or if you have kids, you have kids that are coming in and distracting you from whatever it is that you're learning or working on, right? So if you take yourself out of the environment that you are normally in, then now everything is a new perspective.
Yeah, because we get into our routines, right? We get into our day-to-day routines. Everything's very, very normal. When we're in routine, our brain thinks in a routine
We hang around the same people.
Yeah, we're around the same people, talking to the same people all the time, and really just thinking like same thought pattern every day. It's really hard to get yourself out of that thought pattern if you're still in the environment that you've been in every day.
And comfort zone, right?
Yes.
You're kind of in your comfort zone at that point. So if you step outside of your environment, you're also stepping outside of your comfort zone.
Out of your routine.
Out of your routine. And that's where growth happens.
Yeah. So you don't have to go to Belize, but it is very useful to go to Belize, to go somewhere that is not in your day-to-day. So I know I even have I have students that I was talking to yesterday, and they're going on a mini retreat that they set up themselves, where they rented a cottage just outside of the city they live in. You know, they're not doing a big grand trip of some kind. They rented a cottage.
Is it just the two of them?
It is just the two of them.
Right.
So they're not bringing other people
They're not
with
changing
them.
their social environment in that case.
No, but at least they're changing their physical environment. So
and that's a good place, because if they're business partners, then they're going to be able to talk about their goals. And they're going to be able to talk about how can we expand our goals.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's a mastermind in kind of a different way at that point, because yes, you're taking yourself out of your day to day.
Yeah.
You're
More
just,
of a retreat, I guess.
Yeah.
A retreat to talk about your goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So also very powerful, because again, getting out of your comfort zone, your day to day, that's what's going to allow your brain to really expand and think of new things. You can find new things to inspire you. I know a lot of people, when they're around like nature, they get inspired in different ways. When you're warm, your brain can think differently.
When you got that natural vitamin D pouring down on you, you've got the salt water. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah,
Look at this. Look at this. Just to go off track a little bit. I got groomed today. I feel good. I feel fresh.
Yeah.
I went to I haven't been to the barber in a while. Over a year. Actually, the last time I went there was just before we got married. So it's been over a year. High five.
I've been, as I say, high five to the wedding being over a year ago, or high fiving. Oh, I thought you're high fiving to your beard, because that was a group. That was also a
high five to the beard too.
That was a group effort.
It looks good. It looks good. He does a good job. I like that guy.
Yeah, he did do a good job. But I mean, we also did a good job. So
I'm feeling fresh and I'm ready to go.
I got new glasses. I can see again. See? Yeah, we're ready to go. So I think that's something that we have found very powerful over the last 2 years.
Yeah,
is like doing the masterminds, whether it's in Belize. We've the 2-year anniversary, the one that we did 2 years ago, was in California.
Temecula. Wine country.
And it does make a big difference when you take yourself out of your environment and do a true mastermind, where you're around people that you're building really, really strong rapport with, and you don't even believe the types of relationships.
That's right.
Because
of the vulnerability.
Yeah, it's huge.
Everybody's been sharing, right? And you just get so comfortable with people.
There's group cries, which I know sounds like that's not fun.
Not like planned.
No,
but it's not like, it's not okay. This is a cry session.
Now we're gonna cry, everybody, on command.
No, because of the vulnerability. Then that happens.
Yeah, and as soon as you've done like a group cry, you are connected for life.
Truth.
That connects everybody.
That turns into a group hug.
Yeah, a group cry that turns into a group hug.
That was powerful.
That's a connection for life. And when you're in the business, like when you're an entrepreneur, business is relationships.
Who threw up some likes on that? That was good.
Who's loving the group cries and group hugs?
Yeah.
But it's so powerful, and those relationships, when you're in that like creativity zone, you're building those relationships. Those continue out of the mastermind.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
And you have to also remember that the people that are going to these masterminds, especially in our group, they've invested in themselves to get into the group, and they've done a higher investment to go to these retreats.
Yeah. So you end up with much high achieving, high level people, vibrating at a totally different level than kind of just the regular, surrounding.
Yeah. So these are the people that you want to be connected with, and that you want to have those deep relationships with, because they're the ones who are putting in that extra effort, that extra investment to make sure that they're hitting another level in their business.
Yeah.
So being literally stuck with them for 6 days we're going to an island.
Yeah. So we're going to be on an island. We're going to a boutique hotel.
Yeah.
Very fancy.
So you have no choice. You got to get to know these people.
You're eating all of your meals together.
Yep.
You're sleeping.
Never eat alone. Quite literally.
Sleeping in the same proximity. Not in the same bed.
No, we don't share beds.
Or rooms. But it's good.
Although at the last one, there were bunk beds.
There were a lot of people there. At that one, more people than rooms, I think. So, yeah.
not this. It won't. That
It
won't
was
be
an
the same.
interesting setup.
The same
No.
with this one. But I think the point of this is that you end up connected with these people on a much deeper level. So all that to say, really important to try to get yourself on some sort of a mastermind at some point, a true mastermind.
If you want to get involved in this mastermind, send us a message because we can help.
Yeah, let us know. They're powerful. I'm so excited to go to this one. It's been way too long since our last one. And
Upcoming, I think. So we're going to Belize. Greece is one of them that's upcoming.
Yep.
I've heard talks of El Salvador being one of them.
Yep.
As well.
They're always fun locations because why not?
But yeah, we're global with these. So
yeah, and it's a lot of fun. You meet really, really cool people. And then the other piece of this, and we'll talk about this really briefly, is continuing to invest in yourself as an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And I think as a person in general, I don't think you have to be an entrepreneur to invest in yourself, but especially as an entrepreneur.
I mean, that's where growth happens, right?
Yeah.
And to invest time, energy, financially into yourself.
Mm-hmm. We are huge advocates for investing in yourself and continuing that investing, continuing the education that comes along with it, continuing the growth. As soon as you kind of feel yourself getting into a comfort zone, if you need to live there for a little while, that's okay, but don't live there too long because you want to make sure that you continue to grow. If that's what you're looking for in life, right? Like some people are okay with being comfortable and that's their style. If you're looking to do more, don't hang out in your comfort zone for too long because you're going to want to continue to grow.
If you're not growing, you're dying.
Or you're, stagnant, which is a weird word.
Stagnant?
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't sound like... Ugh.
So then why'd you say it? Why didn't you just stick with what I said, which was dying?
Because that's also not great.
Oh, I see.
Neither are great.
Yeah, I mean, since we've started investing in ourselves, we've 10x'd our portfolio.
Yeah.
I would say at least 100x mindset, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't see a limit on where we can go.
Yeah. And when you invest in you, especially as an entrepreneur, the thing to remember is that people are working with you. Whether you have, you're a coach, you have a product, you're like us, you're an investor. People want to work with who you are. So you need to continue to grow in order to continue to attract people to you. Because if you're kind of laying stagnant and not really doing anything, you're not really going to be attracting people to you in the same way. Yeah. But if you continue to invest in yourself, because you kind of are almost, as an entrepreneur, you almost are your product. You are the product. It's just whatever you make is actually what the person is buying, or as an investor, you are the person that they are working with. So you are the product. So continue to invest in yourself, continue to grow, continue to become a better version of yourself. It doesn't stop after you do one program or you buy one course. It continues. So you take that information, you put it into action, because that's an important piece. Don't forget the action piece. Put it into action.
Do something with it.
Yeah. Do the things. And then once that becomes comfortable, look for that next level. Look for that next investment in yourself.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, why should anybody else invest in you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're important. You need to be investing in yourself. It was actually, I was talking to somebody at the boot camp last week that we were at, and they made a really interesting point. And I think it's something that I've always, realized. But hearing somebody verbalize it was really interesting, because she said it's really hard to invest in something that is for you because it's not tangible. And she was having a really hard time wrapping her head around investing in herself, because she's like, I'm not actually getting anything. So spending the money is hard to wrap my head around, because I'm not receiving a product, right? It's you and your growth. So I had a long conversation with her about kind of the long-term effect of investing in yourself and how that's an infinite return. Like once you learn the thing, you're not unlearning the thing. You're going to grow on top of that. And she eventually, she knew that this was a kind of a limiting belief that she had to work through, so it wasn't like she was resistant to it. So we had a really good conversation. By the end, she did actually end up investing in herself because she was able to wrap her head around it. But it is hard because you're spending the money and you're not immediately getting a result. And it's hard because you have to do something after, right? You don't just invest in yourself and things change. You actually have to do something with whatever it is.
That's always the missing piece.
The doing something.
The doing
part.
something, yeah.
Yeah. So, it is, I can see that it's a hard thing for someone to wrap their head around, but it's so important because the returns are literally infinite. You're going to continue to build on whatever it is that you're investing in for yourself. It's just a matter of wrapping your head around the fact that, yes, it's not tangible other than, you get a t-shirt. Maybe.
The swag.
Other than you get a t-shirt and hat and stuff.
A bucket hat.
Bucket hat. But what you're really receiving is that infinite return, that long-lasting growth. Because as long as you continue to go in that direction, you're not going to be the same person that you were when you made that purchase. And that's the product that you're getting, is the person that you're becoming. It's hard to see that at that time.
Yeah. And if you look at it from a transactional point of view of you're spending that money rather than I'm investing that money into myself, into my brand, into my growth, into my education, then you're going to have a hard time with it because you're thinking about, this is transactional, I'm just spending, but again, I'm not receiving anything right away.
Yeah. What's my ROI?
Yeah.
I got asked a lot. What's my ROI? Infinite.
On yourself, investing in yourself is infinite.
Yeah. It's infinite as long as you do something with it. I can't promise you an ROI if you invest in yourself, because if you don't do anything with it, then it's going to be zero or like minimal.
Yeah.
But as long as you do something with it, it's like limitless, entirely limitless. So it's a mindset. It's something that some people I think have to work through. If there's a block to that. But once you get through that and start doing it and you see the result of it, it can be very powerful.
Yeah. By the way, how big is this?
Jeff had to
coffee?
Pee really bad.
I've never had a coffee this big before.
He's not going to sleep for 3 days.
There were 4 shots of espresso in this coffee.
Jeff plans to stay awake until we get to Belize, clearly, with that coffee.
Yeah. Somebody said 2 more sleeps till we get there.
0. 0 sleeps for Jeff.
0 sleeps with this coffee.
Gonna be ready. Yeah.
All right. Well,
that was the rant for today.
I think that's it. That's a mastermind. So the masterminds you're doing, probably wrong. This is how we mastermind.
Yeah.
Join us.
We are going to be in Belize next week.
We might be able to do it. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know what the time difference is.
And I don't know what the schedule is. So if we're in a session, we wouldn't be able to do it, but we will do our best to be back here. Otherwise, in 2 weeks, we'll be back.
We'll do a live of some kind while we're there. We'll try to make it over the lunch period. Yeah. But if we're not here, you know why. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed today's session. If you found it useful and you think someone else would also find it useful, you can feel free to share this. It is going to be uploaded onto YouTube, so that's the best place to find it. Open Icon Investments. You can find all of our lives there. We've been doing this for a year now, so there's a ton of content. We've talked about so many different topics.
Yep. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you ring that bell. And you can be notified when we go live and when we post new videos.
Yes. If you have a topic that you are interested in talking about and you want to join us on one of these lives, reach out. We'd love to get you on here. And otherwise, we will see you next time.
By the way, look how empty it is in here. I hate it.
Jeff's had a lot of caffeine. His brain is like, whoop, 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 whoop.
It's just so empty in here. We're moving, by the way. We've sold our house. That's news.
After my sign off.
That's okay.
This is what happens when Jeff has too much coffee.
All right, bye everybody.